Making the invisible visible. Black women, 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
My name is Jessica Walker. I'm a dancer, choreographer and stunt woman, and I love to bring play into everything that I do. I'm a big believer of manifestation, and I really strive to bring into the visual anything that comes into my mind, whether that's physically or in a creative sense within the dance industry, or even if that's businesses. I love having my hand in multiple pies, but that is all the fun and the play of it, because once you have an idea, we actually have the freedom to just run with it and go with it and see where it takes us. And it means I've been able to have a life so far that's been full of adventure, and that's really what keeps me going and feeling like I'm the captain of this very crazy ship. But yeah, playfulness, which is something I think we've lost a lot, but play is something that has always driven me. Because I work in the film and TV industry as a stunt woman, I'm having to train consistently across a lot of different skills. Regularly doing trampolining, martial arts, weapons training, horse riding, all of these different areas that then inform the work that I have to do on screen. But alongside that, I'm always developing my dance practice choreographically, but also for myself physically, my own body, getting different styles into my tool as much as I can. And then in terms of how I work as a choreographer, because I love minimalist works, that's always been the thing that's charmed me from a young age. Minimalism has always informed my practice, and how can we relay ideas and move audiences to think with movement that may be repetitive, simple, but it just requires more patience from an audience, especially as we're seeing now attention spans are shorter because of social media, those sorts of things. I love challenging audiences to sit there and think. And in that practice, ensuring that dancers are seen, heard, and feel really present. There's something about the pedestrian, and in not using the dancer as a tool, but instead as a way to inform. So they're actively within that practice as well. So having that relationship with the dancers is so important for me also. So I think to tie all of those different elements together, the thing that I'm always doing is having to listening to the craft or the sport or the dance style that I'm having to take in, and then listening actively to those that I'm working with, and how do we then get audiences to listen. I think a moment that shaped me significantly, it was actually a person, and I don't even know her name, which is a really sad thing about it. She was a stunt woman, a Black stunt woman that I worked with, I think, for one day on this job. And her words will always stick with me. She said, "Don't let them change you." And I really think about that often across all the different things that I'm working on, all the different experiences I get to have in my life. And I think you do question yourself as you enter different rooms, different spaces, especially as a Black woman, where typically you are one of one in the room. And there are always, people or events or situations that make you question who you are and how you work. And I do like to remember, don't let them change you, because that's actually incredibly powerful. And we have to remember that the essence that we bring is valid. People are grateful to have you in the room. And I think it's so common for us to want to hide and to feel that imposter syndrome, and actually where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. And that quality, that individual quality that you bring is important in that space, and it does contribute something really important in that moment of time. I think something about me that you wouldn't know at first glance is probably fear. I've actually been quite a fearful person, and I'm actively always challenging myself to work through my fears, which is why I said yes to my first ever stunt job, 7 years ago, which is why I say yes to opportunities when they come my way. I really actively believe in saying yes to whatever you can. Even recently, I'm now currently doing a K-pop international tour. I did the audition, I got asked, I was scouted, I was asked to come to the audition, I did the audition, I was offered the job, and I was too scared to say yes. I was going to say no, and my partner told me, you're doing this job. So the fear element is within us all the time, every day. It's trying to protect ourselves. However, those rewards that are on the other side of that fear is what we need to be engaging with and working through. It's funny because in my family we're actually really good at maintaining a culture of celebration. So whenever I finish on a job or something's come up for somebody, we always make sure we get a bottle in and have a toast. Doing things like that just ensure that you take that 5-10 minutes to recognise the efforts that not only you but those in your small circle have also gone through. That's also really important as well. I always make sure to do so much journaling. I journal my experience of every single day, so I actually never forget those small details, and I can carry clues with me along the way on my journey. I've got so many of my own archives that I can reference. It's really important to acknowledge the work that you've done, document it for yourself, the feelings, doing voice notes for yourself. It's so powerful because when you need those in the future, you're able to go back and relive those wins and give yourself the credit you deserve.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.